All right, and we're back for, oh, hello. We're back for part 2 of this huge thrift haul. Y'all, I have been busy. If you guys are interested, I'll go ahead and link part 1 right here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kristen Hoffman. I'm a mother of 3 who loves thrifting, homemaking, and intentional living. And also thrift hauls are my very favorite content to create. These home tours, they take it out of me, but this is just fun. Last week, I took you guys to the bins with me, which is always a trip. But today, we're just gonna have a good old fashioned thrift store. And I'll show you guys a few of the pieces that I was able to find. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Hello everybody, it is a cold and horrible day here in Nebraska and I just arrived at the thrift store. Y'all, I have been going through it. I won't get into it, but I've actually been confronting a lot of fears so much this week and just some like big life personal things. And I was talking to Joshua about it today and he was like, babe, I'm so proud of you. You go and just take the whole afternoon to yourself. I'm gonna take the girls, go get Rosie from school, and you just go enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Do what you love the very most. And so here I am at the thrift store and I cannot wait. Usually when I do this, I'm so rushed and I love that he is allowing me to just have this entire afternoon with nobody pressuring me to get out and get home, get the kids, and get dinner ready. Anyway, let's go inside. Okay, everybody, well, I do need to give you guys a little heads up that my voice is like almost gone today, but our family has been sick, like really sick for about 2 weeks now. Y'all, I just had to get this video finished, and so please bear with me during this time. But here you guys can see some really cool vintage prints that we found at New Life Thrift, and then there was also this gorgeous painting at Thrift World. But y'all, it was so expensive, $14.98. That's ridiculous. And here's some kids' clothes that I found. I don't usually show you guys kids' clothes in the hauls just because the few videos that I've done that were about kids' clothes did extraordinarily poorly. So if you guys are interested in this type of content, let me know. If you're not, also let me know that. There were some cool little ceramics here that I found. I thought that these were cute, but unless I really have a place for these in my home, I have been leaving them behind. But even this little heart candle holder next to this crock, I had it in my cart for the longest time. I've been loving that kind of like salt glazed look, but I did wind up putting it back just because I'm not in love with hearts. I also thought that this candle holder was really cool. Like I told you guys, it's some really cool ceramics, but I wasn't a huge fan of kind of like the dribbling technique that was on top of it. So I left that one behind too. A cute little baby crib. I don't know what happened to my footage, but I actually found a crib that was way cooler than this, and I will show you guys that in the footage. I loved this little oil lamp, but I don't really know how to use it, and so yet again left it behind. Y'all, I went back and forth on this vintage painting. It was humongous. I also thought that this little crib was really cute, but I don't know what I would use it for. We don't need anything like this at this point. This piece reminded me so much of Danielle from Homemade Vintage. Man, every piece in here was so cool, and it was only $14.99 for all of it. Even the way it was displayed was so cool. But honestly, I just don't really have any need for any of this stuff, and you know, I don't really display collections of things this way, and so I just wanted to make sure that you guys got a really good look at it before we moved on from it. Here are a couple of baskets. Y'all know we can always use some baskets, but what is the point of these angled baskets? Can somebody let me know? I almost purchased this lamp for our back room. I thought it'd be really cool, but I don't know. I passed on it for some reason. Probably because I spotted these Boyd's bears. Okay, so there were so many of these. I should have gotten this shaggy guy because he looks so much like our dog Buddy. I think that these are actually like collector's items, and so I thought I would give them a little moment for those of you who are familiar with them and are interested in the ones that were available at our thrift store. There's these really cool ostrich boots, as well as some fry boots that I'll show you. And I think that these are pretty valuable as well. But unfortunately they were a size 7.5. I wore like a size solid 9 at this point, if not like a 9.5. So there's just no way that was happening. Okay, so I had some luck, y'all, but it is like thundering so bad outside right now. So I better get home to Josh and the kids so we can have some dinner together. I probably won't have time to do the thrift haul tonight, but I'll show you when I get home sometime. Okay, so something that happened this week that was actually really cool and kind of crazy is that I got recognized in public. It's just so crazy. Like every time it happens, I'm always surprised by it. I'm just so used to being like nobody. So then when somebody recognizes me, it just feels like completely surreal. If any of you guys here watching have seen me in the thrift stores, please say hi. It doesn't happen to me often and it's always so flattering. But something about it that's kind of crazy is like thinking about how many people out there like actually know who I am, but there is a part of me that's like a little bit uncomfortable with it, mostly just for safety reasons. Like, you know, sometimes I'm like, is somebody gonna like follow me home or whatever? And so for that reason, I really try to take like every precaution to just make sure that my family is safe. But I also want to make sure that we're protected like on the internet. So anyone can find anything on the internet, including your full legal name, your phone number, your home address. They can find your personal email or even your relatives. Seriously, do a Google search of your personal information and see if a people search site will come up on there. Doesn't it feel a little strange that the public can have access to such personal information? So this information is available because of data brokers. They profit by selling your information to like robocallers or telemarketers or spammers and anybody else who wants to learn about you. So in today's digital landscape, it can really put your family at risk. And that's why I'm excited to tell you guys about today's sponsor, which is Aura. So Aura will identify data brokers who are exposing your information and automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. They'll even opt you out of like junk mail or telemarketing lists, which y'all, don't we all want that? You can use my link to try 2 weeks for free and see how many data brokers are accessing your information. Aura also monitors your email and passwords to make sure that they haven't been involved in any data breaches or exposed to the dark web. And then if you have, they give you recommendations as to what to do. For a long time, I used the same username and password for everything, and that left me super susceptible to a data breach. Aura's app also features a VPN, password manager, real-time credit and identity theft monitoring, internet parental controls, and they protect your devices from malware. So protecting your family is complicated enough. The additional burdens brought on by the digital age can be a lot to take on. They can be difficult for parents to be able to manage alone. We're avoiding a lot of this at this point because we don't allow our kids to have like handheld devices, but the internet is coming for us whether we like it or not. The Aura app does a lot of that work, so you don't have to worry about the elusive aspects of the internet. From inappropriate websites to excessive screen time to identity theft, scams, and malware. Still, no technology can replace the important conversations that you have with your children about online safety. Aura is here to help you guys navigate that too. They have almost every internet safety tool that you'll ever need all inside of one app. So let Aura do the work of keeping you safe online. And if you sign up right now, Aura will give you a 2-week trial with my link. You will be shocked at how much of your online information Aura finds exposed in the next 2 weeks. So go to aura.com/Hoffman to start your free trial. All right, everybody, well, welcome back to the chair. I'm not gonna lie, I've been creating a lot of different content and it's been a minute since we've done thrifting, which is like I said, it's my favorite. I'm trying to figure out where to get started though. How about this? I will get started at something, this dog, go away. Go, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna get started here with one of my favorite pieces and I'll end up with my biggest piece. How about that? We'll go from favorite to biggest. So recently I actually went into this random little store here in Omaha. I honestly didn't film it because I didn't know what it was gonna be like, but basically it's people who go into homes that are, I don't know if they're like condemned or if it's like where somebody dies and their family members have already done an estate sale and they're just looking to get rid of the rest of the stuff in the house. Basically though, they had this awesome huge crock. Let me turn it so you can kind of see what's on it. So I want to give you guys a better look at this, but look at all of that crackling on it. It is so cool looking. And then it's got the big old 5 gallons on the front. And on the inside, it's actually this like dark color with some like weird salty crust on the bottom. Okay, but did I say that this was $15? I could not believe it. So you guys may have actually seen this in our spring home tour, but I have this up on top of our counters in our kitchen, and I put all of those magnolias in it. So I just realized that I had gotten this, I had thrown it up there, and I had never shown it to you guys. And so I wanted to make sure that you guys got a good look at this beauty before I put her up. Let me also mention that every time I get on one of those jankety chairs to try to lift this thing up on top of the cabinets, I about lose my life. So pray for me. Okay, and next I did find this vintage print. And you guys, Thrift World, we've got something to talk about. This store is so dang expensive. Like, I just don't get it. Why is it that I can go to Salvation Army right down the street and I will get something twice as big for $2.99, and at Thrift World it's $14.99? Like, I can't. Honestly though, they're probably like, well, you bought it, didn't you? I did. Anyway, I just thought it was really beautiful, and I'm planning on putting this up in our bathroom. I do like having like waterscapes in our bathroom, and so I'm honestly thinking about moving some other stuff in there too. I decorated this place with just what I had, and I really wanted to become a little bit more intentional, and so that's why I was willing to spend the $14.99 on this print. And you know, I'm just gonna have to get over it. I did find a little brass clock for our bedside. I know I found one, I think late last summer, this past year, and it's not that I use it because I honestly don't even know how to work it. I know that it works though. Do you just wind it? Ooh, I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. Nope, I don't hear anything. Yeah, I genuinely have no idea what I'm doing here. But I got this silver one last year and I liked it. You guys know that I'm way more of like a brass girl than a silver girl. And I don't even know if this is real brass. All I know is that the faceplate looks a little bit more, the other one is definitely vintage, but this one is definitely more vintage than the other one. And so I just liked how it looked a little bit better. And you know what? The other one was $1.99. I'm pretty sure that this one was $1.99. If I spent $2 on something that I'm gonna wind up donating back, then it doesn't bother me. This was actually a purchase of Rosie's, kind of. She told me that she really loved it when we were in the store. And so I did wind up kind of sneaking it to the cash register and buying it for her birthday. She really loves home decor. And so she's looking forward to putting this underneath her corn husk dolls. Do you remember those corn husk dolls that I found at the Goodwill bins? She's planning on like making this a little stand for the little mama and grandma and baby that she has on there. I thought it was pretty cool. This girl has like great style, let me just say that. Okay, and also for Rosie's room, I meant to show these during the spring haul, but I could not find the prints, and guess where the prints were? They were stacked in between the frames. And so here I was thinking that I just had the frames and no prints, but I actually bought all of these frames because I found these prints at the thrift store. And look how precious these are. Okay, so these were not like the cheapest, especially for this. The thrift store that they're in is actually a really cheap thrift store, but I think that they must have known that these were somehow valuable. So you can see that there's this little like mouthy guy right here. There's a pretty bunny, which I guess that's not so much springtime. And then there is these sweet little foxes. And there were small ones like this, there was bigger ones. Truthfully, I don't have the frames to be able to handle the big ones, but they had such good vintage prints when we were at this thrift store. And so because I did wind up paying $2 each for those, I had to get a few frames. But like I said, this thrift store that we go to is so cheap. And so all of their frames were 85 cents. I couldn't find 3 that matched, but I did find 3 that were somewhat similar. And you know what? We're just gonna put all 3 of these together and we're gonna call it good, okay? You know, you can't win them all. Sometimes you got matching frames and sometimes you don't. Next, I was able to find these 2 candle holders. Somebody help me here. These are both matching. These were $2.98 a piece. But as you can see here, these were originally brass, but it looks like somebody painted them black. When I first got them, my intent was to try to see if I could strip off this black and just have the brass underneath, because you can see it coming out there a little bit. But really, the more that I look at them, the more I'm wondering if I actually kind of like them black. I don't know. I need your help telling me. What do you think? Do you think that I should keep these black or try to somehow get the paint off and have them be the brass underneath? I am trying to go with a more early American look, and brass, obviously I love it. It's all over my house. But when I look at early American homes and inspiration, it's honestly a lot more of like that pewter and kind of like dark metals and whatnot like this. You guys, again, I'm really just trying to figure out my house. I think for now I am just gonna keep these black and maybe put it over my fireplace where the current candle holders are. I'll show you what they look like really quick. Okay, so this is what our current candle holders look like, and so I'm thinking about maybe putting these up instead. They've got like the actual brass like candle holder piece, and I do like how simple they are, but when I look at them compared to these, they look a lot more like mid-century to me. Although I do love mid-century, I think that I'm gonna try to go for a more early 1900s look in our home, and I know that that's gonna take time, but I feel like these may be a little bit more appropriate. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's all cockeyed and weird. Next, I did find a new baby bed. I'm gonna give this to Ivy. So she is the girl in our home that loves baby dolls. I was always amazed that Rosie and Ruby, they would way rather play with like building blocks or, you know, non-washable markers than babies. But Ivy, she always has a little baby that she's carrying around. And so we did have a baby bed. It was not great to begin with. It was a hand-me-down, and it was it had a weird stickiness on it that we couldn't get off. And then as of recently, somebody stepped through it. So we were due for a new baby bed. And so her birthday is gonna be coming up in May. She's gonna be turning 2. And so this is gonna be our gift for her babies. I'm really excited to give it to her. It was $7.99, which seems like kind of a lot, but I don't know. It's a really nice solid baby bed, and it looks like the rest of our house. And I know that we're gonna be able to use this for not only our current children, but any future children or any future grandchildren someday. Hope that day doesn't come too soon. Okay, and last, I might need to back y'all up for this one because like I said, it's the biggest. Okay, so I almost passed this up just because it was listed for $14 at the thrift store. And I love these covered bridges prints. Oh my gosh, I cannot even get this whole thing in the frame. This thing is massive. It's probably 4 or 5 feet long. I almost passed it up just because there is like some discoloration in the clouds, but I am still trying to fill out Ivy's room. I really want the entire wall to just be filled with prints in her room, just because I don't know, it's already so dark in there with the paint, and I really just want to liven the place up with a lot of paintings and prints. And so I just thought that this was really cool looking. I'll give you guys kind of a close-up of it with the 2 little kids with their fishing rods. I just thought that it was precious, and I brought it up to the register thinking that it was going to be $14.99, and then the lovely lady at the counter told me that it was half off, and so I wound up getting it for just $7.50, which was super exciting. All right, everybody, well, that wraps up the rest of my thrift haul. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. If you guys are new, thank you so much for being here. And if you love thrift hauls, I've got an entire playlist. And if you guys want to stick around, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you guys hit the bell, it'll also notify you every time I upload a new video. So go ahead and do that as well. All right, everybody, well, thank you so much for joining me again this week. We'll see you next time. Bye.